everybody. So this month slash last month's setup for this video, we are actually going a little rogue, as older subscribers will notice. So I unfortunately didn't have time for a proper intro, because if I'm going to be on camera, I like to try my best to look presentable, unless it's like a vlog where you're seeing things in real time. And unfortunately, with how much I kind of put on my plate slash how long it took for my last big magnum opus of a video, I wasn't able to get this up on that month, and actually wasn't able to even do a July setup. So we are doing things a little bit differently for this month and possibly for August's setup, but that's here nor there. Let's just talk about this. So obviously, we are doing a Pokemon theme. Now, the last time I did a Pokemon theme was actually back in May during the COVID times. And that was all when I was still in my era of learning how to draw. And looking back at that setup, I wanted to do some improvements, but also really go hard into the scrapbooky thing because, again, as I've said before, with the lack of time and having a full-time job, trying to get out of debt, and also keeping up with videos, I don't have much time to draw, like, at all, which is kind of disappointing. Honestly, I do miss it, but I've been having a lot of fun using just sticker sheets and being able to just pump out my spreads more efficient sake than, like, creative sake. That sounds a little bit bad, like I'm kind of being lazy with it. It's just, I wanted it to be faster, but still feel like I'm having a fun time decorating everything. And stickers is a great way to do that. And a lot of these stickers were actually from Etsy shops. So all the Etsy artists that I got these from will be linked below. But the one that I'm using for this cover page is actually from Japan. There is this shop in Akihabara where it's basically a store where all they sell is retro video games and retro gaming consoles. So on one of the levels, they have a whole Pokemon section from like classic 90s Pokemon, and they had a little sticker section, and there wasn't too many stickers. Surprisingly, even at the Pokemon Center, when I was trying to hunt for as many Pokemon stickers as I could, this was the only one in this setup that was actually from Japan. It was actually hard to find Pikachu and other Pokemon stickers of aesthetics that I liked, which this one is more drawn in the cutesy version of Pikachu compared to like really the anime version, especially like the original anime version, not like the new reformed designs of the later seasons, which I'm not gonna lie, if it was from a different anime, it wouldn't strike me as weird, but I'm still getting used to those new designs of Ash and everything. And speaking of Ash, do we remember the fact that he's finishing up his arc? That makes me feel old. Like, I still remember when Pokemon was still coming out and everything. Like, obviously, I think, off the top of my mind, like, it came out in the 1990s, like early 90s, just before I was born. But I remember the early stages of Pokemon. And also, weird fun fact, I actually didn't play my first Pokemon game until I was like 13 or 14 on the Nintendo DS. So I was late to the video games, but I remember playing with the cards. And Pikachu was one of my top favorites. But I think my favorite, though, was Mew. Not Mewtwo, because Mewtwo kind of scared me. I remember the original first movie. I still have it on VHS at my cabin. Whenever I'm out with friends, we always watch it, and we always cry at that end scene. It's just pure nostalgia. And I even have like a Pikachu giant plushie from the first time I went to Japan. I'm going a lot of tangents here. I was supposed to make this a short video. Moving on to our content trackers. I took more inspo from the original spreads that I did, and I tried doing these fonts in like the actual video game aesthetic, and honestly, it did not turn out as well as I hoped. It looked bad. It looked so bad, and I hated it, so I needed to remedy it, and the best way to remedy when, pages can only be so thick is to just pile on some more scrapbook paper, and it still went with the look of the cover page, so wasn't mad at it, but definitely should have planned this out a little bit better. At this point in time, I was really going through a creative rut, not obviously just with my drawings and designs, but typically when I'm in a creative rut, it affects all aspects of my work, so it's a good thing that I've been relying on stickers a lot, let's just say that. With this overall aesthetic of this page, I want it to match the vibe of the Eevee, and there was actually another design of an Eeveelution. I think it's her fairy version. Never played the fairy version, it's like one of the Eeveelutions. I'll throw it up on screen right now. But this artist created that Eeveelution jumping out of a Nintendo DS, and part of me was like, should I buy that one? because even though I've never played with that version of Eevee, my first game was with the Nintendo DS. I never even owned a Game Boy. My earliest handheld console was the Game Boy Advance. I still have it in my closet. It's on the edge. I took good care of it, but like something that's that old, ooh, that hurts my soul. Now I want to play Nintendo games again. Man, now I'm going on this nostalgia route. But my point is with the sticker is that I really wanted to get that one because it was just more accurate to my childhood. But Eevee was one of my top 3 favorites. It was Mew, Eevee, and then Pikachu. So I was like, okay, you better go with your favorite version of Eevee, even if you never had that game console. So that's why we went with these colors, and I thought it looked really cute together, and also added these tiny little Pikachus from a sticker sheet that one of my share housemates gave to me. And I don't know where she bought it. I forgot to ask. And if I did ask, I literally do not remember any part of that conversation. But having those little Pikachus jumping around with the giant Eevee as the main focus, it was really cute. It was nice to look back at that spread, seeing it complete and the month over. But these little washi tapes, they were so cute. I got 2 sets from the dollar store, and I actually have an extra set. So if any of you want to play a little game and do a little giveaway, if you want to win one of these washi tapes from Japan, comment this message on the Pikachu cover page for this month on my Instagram, and you will know if you won in 2 weeks when the August setup gets posted. We'll do a random draw like I did on my travel channel. All right, so brain dump. So really, brain dump has turned into a massive need for me compared to previous years where I sometimes wouldn't even touch it. But anytime I have a thought about finance, which I've been really into lately since I've been getting out of debt faster and faster. And by the way, as of recording this video, I'm completely out of debt. And I couldn't be prouder of myself. Japan took a lot out of my visa, and I'm sure many of you know that visa debt, credit card debt in general, is the worst kind of debt to get out of. That interest, man, oof. Anytime I was having a thought about that and trying my best to survive the thought of being at the job that I was at any longer, I would throw in my brain dump and kind of give myself that motivation of like, no, you are getting out of it as fast as humanly possible and you should be proud of yourself, and it really kept me going. So anytime I'm making a new spread, it's definitely gonna have a brain dump page. But with this one, I wanted to aim every single page in my Pokemon book to have a different theme of Pokemon. So obviously, you just saw the first one was Eevee, and as you probably already guessed, this one is a green type plant type. Why was that so hard to say? I don't know. I didn't have too many plant Pokemon stickers, so I did a little bit more drawing heavy with this. On Pinterest, I found one page of this artist. I'll have to post her link in the description of the original drawing. I'll post it right here. She obviously did a beautiful greenhouse drawing of a Pokemon Master with a couple of her green Pokemon, and I loved how that looked, so I tried to do my own mini version of it, even though mine is a very amateur looking version, but that's okay, it still worked, and I really like how it turned out. Alright, moving on to our last spread of the video. So now we are doing water Pokemon. Now I didn't actually end up using all of my water stickers in this one, sadly. This spread ended up just taking up so much space with each day that I just couldn't use them. So maybe I'll use them in like my own artsy little thing when I do my end of year review, because I don't want to just like have them sitting there and wasted, right? And off the top of my head, I don't, actually we're going to look at my book right now. I don't think I left an extra page to do a reflection right there. Oh yeah, no, I totally didn't. So yeah, I went straight into script work for my episode 2 of moving to Japan. I guess I'll talk a little bit about that and why that video took me so damn long and in turn made this video come out so damn late. So this video, without giving too much away, because I'll leave the link to it if you guys are interested in watching it, but this video actually wasn't even supposed to happen. When I was filming my moving to Japan era, I was thinking, okay, the first day it's only going to be in Vancouver, flying from Edmonton to Vancouver for a short layover trip, Just like one day, and then the next morning I'm back on a plane to get straight to Japan. And I plan to only film like a little bit just to do a quick transition scene, and then it goes straight into like, oh, I landed in Japan and now everything's going according to plan. Well, during traveling of COVID, according to plan is basically out the freaking window. You never know what's going to happen when you're traveling during COVID times. So because of the lack of footage that I hadn't planned wow, I'm really going into the Canadian accent here. Because of the lack of footage, not knowing what would happen, it was a struggle to build a narrative that would make sense for the story. So I ended up having to do a lot of script work and a lot of creative problem solving because I still wanted this to be like a short film. And considering what happened over the span of what was supposed to be only 24 hours turned into 4.5 days, there was a lot of footage to sift through, and it ended up being longer than my episode 1, explaining how I even came about to going to Japan in the first place and the process of actually moving. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to put my full force into this. I'm going to do my best job I possibly can, and there was so much scripting, so much emotional hurdles, and just making sure everything made sense with the lack of footage I had. So I worked on that video for a straight 2.5 months, which is exactly why July's setup didn't even get made. There is not just no video for it, it literally doesn't exist in my book. My days just consisted of waking up at 6 a.m., editing and writing the script between 7 a.m. to when I had to go to work at noon, and then I'd go to bed when I get home after working a full 8-hour day. Like that was my life for 2.5 months. It was grueling. So I ended up taking a couple weeks off after that video finally got up. And unfortunately, as I'm recording this right now, I let myself have too long of a vacation, and now I'm starting to go back to like, okay, you're going back to back and you're not ahead anymore, basically. So I'm going to have to cut some corners and still get the video out because I have to keep telling myself with these future projects that done is better than perfect. And other news that I forget if I put this in or not, but I actually quit my full-time job since I'm out of debt. Woohoo! My first day of freedom and being a full-time content creator will be September 1st, 2023. And who knows, with the way things are going with that first channel, and maybe turns out in this second one, I might not need to go back to being someone's employee. I might actually be able to stay my own boss, which would be a godsend. I've been working towards this goal for so freaking long, so it feels really good to be able to do it, and I'm going to be doing that for a solid 2 months. If no money comes in after 2 months, then I'll get another part-time job, not a problem, but I won't need to go back to full-time because doing that along with keeping 2 channels going was just way too much. I could do that for this 8 months that I did because of the debt thing, but like, my body's crapping out from that, and I really want to focus on my physical health now with the YouTube, so it's better to stick with a part-time job. But I'm hoping I'm going to get monetized before my birthday in October, so yeah, there's a lot of projects for September and October, and I'm super, super excited to get started. That was so much fun. I just can't wait. It's going to be kind of freaky seeing my bank account going lower and lower again, but I actually feel like I have a clear vision on what I want to do and how to do it, and editing videos is actually fun for me now, because like it was fun editing bullet journaling videos, but I really struggle with the Leaf Factor ones and knowing how to do it. But after I took the Casey Neistat course and did these 2 magnum opuses of episode 1 and 2 of moving to Japan, like I found a new love of editing, and I don't really have any desire to like film myself anymore, because I'll obviously still film myself because I still enjoy it, but overall, I'm ready to just focus on making the video, not just filming it. And with that, that is a wrap for today's video and June 2023 bullet journal setup. Alright everyone, so here is my new and improved, is it improved? I don't know, which one do you like better? My old Pokemon setup or this Pokemon setup? I personally like this one a little bit more because obviously it was a lot more efficient for me to do, and having people's stickers designs just made it a lot easier for me to tackle. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you like this shorter version of a bullet journal setup, let me know that in the comments, because if you do, then I'll just continue with the short version. But if you like the longer version, you gotta let me know that too, because I can't read your minds. So I will see you guys in 2 weeks on the next Scrappy Wednesday for the August Sailor Moon setup. I know it's a bit late in the month, but yeah, me just trying to catch up and like get myself in order, because with my last month being at my full-time job, I'm really trying to get myself back on that horse. So I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. And with the giveaway results. Yes. Okay, bye!